Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 52. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Mondays with Mello, and today we're delving into the sacrifices to achieve success. And before we start, here's a quote: Success takes an investment in time, dedication, and sacrifice. This is true education. It is a process. Now, when you finally make the decision to carve your own path to success, you'll soon realize that you'll have to make sacrifices to get there. Now, you will not know in the beginning what those sacrifices will be, but as time goes on, you'll soon figure them out. And those things could be, you know, not going to a party, missing family events, missing birthdays, baby showers, weddings, whatever it is. Because in hindsight, a lot of people who become successful, they miss a lot of family events and friends getting together and things of that nature. So when you sit and you look at an entrepreneur or a business person or an executive or whoever, most of them made sacrifices to get to where they are. And that's the one thing that you have to know and understand if you're going to achieve anything. Now, you'll soon learn that you'll have to watch less television to get work done, or you may have to wake up earlier or work late into the night to get things done. You'll have to stop going out every weekend and only go out some weekends just to get that work that's been sitting on your desk that you need to get that done. And like I said, the family events, well, you'll have to miss a few. And, you'll have to, really hone in and, mentally focus on things that you have to do, especially when you're determined to live the life that you want, especially when you know that you want to impact others. Now, no one will ever tell you these things, and this is why I'm here to tell you that's what it's going to take. And I say this because I've sacrificed a lot of things in regards to hanging out with friends or going out somewhere or going to a family event. So I've passed up on plenty of things in my journey that I've been on for the past few years. And now I made a huge sacrifice by leaving family and friends and moving over 2,700 miles across the country. Also, I can be inspired and motivated by others, meet new people, and, embrace, a new environment and become more focused on what I need to do and find more opportunities to get to where I want to be. So sometimes you do have to leave the comfort of your own home and your own city that you've grown up in your whole life and move somewhere else and, find success there. And I'm not saying that everyone has to do it, but, a good amount of people do it. Most of the time, music artists are able to stay in their own city and, grow and flourish. And that happens. But I know for sure that there are a lot of people that have become successful by leaving the comforts of their own city and, moving to New York or moving to Atlanta or moving to Miami or moving to LA or wherever, San Francisco, wherever, and looking to find the success that, they want to achieve. There are people that I follow on Instagram that have left the confines of Chicago and moved to Los Angeles and have found success. So don't hinder yourself. And I will tell you that you have to be willing to sacrifice certain things to really get to where you want to be. And sometimes that does include leaving your own city and your own state. Honestly, anytime I have downtime, I'm either thinking, planning, strategizing, writing, marketing, or brainstorming something. So everything for me is meticulous and everything is a process. Your drive is going to keep you going. And, when you really want to become successful, you're not going to take many days off. And I'm guilty of that. I will be someone who will literally sit, watch a sports game, listen to music, and be writing a blog at the same time. Now, don't ask me how my brain is able to, process all of those things at one time, but I will tell you I've been guilty of doing that plenty of times. Sometimes I'll watch a TV show and literally be writing a blog or writing a book. It's crazy, but it's something that I do. I know the whole music and writing blogs and music and writing books, that's pretty normal, for people. For the most part, I know people who write and do those things, but for me to do three things at one time, sometimes even four, I know it sounds nuts, but guess what? Sometimes I'm a little superhuman, but sometimes I'm very normal. Um, and even if you do take, a day off, you're going to feel like you're not getting anything done. And that's another thing that I'm guilty of. I don't know how to be still. That is a problem of mine. And even if I take a day off, I'm still thinking, I'm still processing, I'm still observing the world, or I'm, trying to figure out what's next. So I'm never really fully taking a day off. Um, Even if I'm at a family event, sometimes I'm writing a note of something, of a conversation I had with someone, and, I can go back to it later on. These are things that I do. Um, Another thing that I will say is that you will be tired a lot, especially if you have a full time job while trying to get your own business going yourself. And that's another thing for me. I'm tired a lot. I'm not going to sit here and lie. So, at least for me, at least I try to take one day a week where I sleep in a little bit longer than I normally would. Or I am the king of taking naps these days. So, getting an hour or two sometimes helps, even sometimes taking a 3 hour nap, which my mom considers it that's sleep, but hey, to each its own. I always tell my mom anything 3 hours or shorter, it's considered a nap. My mom's like, no, 2 hours, 2 hours and shorter is a nap. But hey, everyone has their opinions, right? Right. But sleep is something you'll cherish a lot, and I do cherish that a lot too. My days are 17 to 18 hours a lot. Except, on weekends, like I said, I try to get, a little bit more of rest time then. And I will tell you the honest truth, being an entrepreneur isn't for everyone. It's really not. Um, I don't know if, I can hang around too many people who aren't really striving for something greater than them. So the one thing I will tell you is to put yourself around people who are striving for something bigger, because that will motivate you and inspire you. And, I have a few fellow Aquarians like me who are working as arduously as me. But beyond that, there aren't too many people that are really on a journey like mine. But I will say in the past year or so, I've met some good people who are striving for greatness. And since I've moved out here, I've met, some really good people, and they're younger than me, and they have that motivation and drive to really change the landscape of the way this world is. And it's all a process for them, and they're all learning and trying to figure it out, themselves, along with trying to figure it out collectively, as a group. So I do commend them. I've sat and listened to a lot of their stories, and processed a lot of things. And you know I'm the old fogey of the group. These young people are in their early 20s, so I'd never wanted to be the guy that kind of invaded their space too much. But they're growing, and it's a beautiful thing. Now, the point I'm trying to make really is you put what you put into your work, you're gonna get the results. And I will always tell you guys to just keep going. Even if you need to take a day or two off just to get away from it, then come back to it. But don't give up. That's all I will tell you. Now, whether you work on things for hours at a time or you work a few minutes a day, always know that it's getting you closer to your ultimate goal, whatever that is and whatever that may be. So I will say, Just be prepared to make sacrifices to get to where you want to be. Because I know I am. The question is, are you? With that said, that's my podcast for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be good, everyone, and go accomplish your goals.